Okay. Okay. Hey guys. Hey. So, I don't know if I think this is right. So, hey guys, if you know me, I'm Tracy. If you don't, I'm Tracy. Nice to meet you. So, I have not been on live for a minute on Facebook. And of course, if you see my other lives, I'm just here to talk about quarantine life. I'm here to talk about what's been going on, how are you guys doing, so on and so forth. Let me see how this works. Okay, I don't know how to do this. Okay. Anyway, so good afternoon. I hope everyone is good. So, I'm gonna talk about quarantine, and all things in quarantine and how it's caused us to have a different way of living life at this point in time. When I did my first live, that was like weeks ago at the beginning of quarantine, and it's just like, how are things gonna change? How is life gonna be shifted and all of that good stuff? So, basically, I would say, my first question is like, what has quarantine forced us to do? What has it made us, I guess, change in this day and age? I'm really trying to figure out how to use this. I'm sorry, y'all. So what has quarantine caused us to do differently, and so on and so forth? So for me, I feel like with quarantine, when I came into quarantine, I'm like, okay, this is going to be like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. And it ended up being 3 months. So when we came in, it was winter time. And then it was springtime, and now it's pretty much going into summertime. And so over these seasons, I think I've learned like how to be with myself, right? I'm home. I don't have anything to do except, well, I have work. So I work 2 jobs. So I'm pretty busy, but I was just somebody who was always on the go and everything like that. And so I feel like with quarantine life, that's definitely taught me how to kind of, I guess, like do things on my own in my house. It taught me how to stay home. So that's first things first. As far as eating, like I know that when you're, well, at least for me, when I'm home, I like to eat. I like to enjoy myself and so on and so forth. So I think quarantine taught me some type of discipline, because with having to, I guess, eat, like I had to make sure, okay, well, Tracy, you're not moving out and about. You're not doing like what you were doing before. So now you have to be more disciplined in your eating. So I feel like that's one of the things that have happened to me, like since I've been home. I've definitely been able to enjoy my own company. I've definitely been able to, I guess, self-reflect. Being in the house so much, I think that all of us were able to get the opportunity to really like look at ourselves and look at how, well, if you decided to. So like I said, with quarantine, for some people, I know some people lost their jobs. I know some people are in houses where they don't want to be. They're married to people who they don't like. They're dating people they don't like. They have children that they don't like. I mean, it's crazy, and so I do understand that's going on. But I feel like if you have the opportunity in quarantine to know that, okay, I have all this free time that I did not have before, now let me utilize it. That's something that definitely helped me like look at my character and kind of see like what was going on with me, what's wrong with me, what do I need to fix, and so on and so forth. And so I think that that's one of the things that quarantine has definitely taught me to kind of get together. So yeah, like I said, when I came into quarantine, my goal was that when I come out, I need to be different. I need to be better. I need to be wiser. I need to be smarter, whatever. And so I did end up, like, I took a class during quarantine. I had mentioned that in my first live, like 11 weeks ago. I took a business entrepreneurship class, and I kind of was getting things together for that, for my own business. I go to church, so my church, we have a lot of events on live and so on and so forth. And so I would say that even though I was home and not in a church building, I definitely pray a lot more on my own. I definitely am more focused when it comes to that. So yeah, that was my routine for that. So I know that for quarantine, one of the things I was curious about, so like, yes, we've all experienced, sorry, my chair. We've all experienced loss and things like that. We've all heard of people who have lost others and so on and so forth. And so I think that with this whole quarantine life, it definitely allowed me to realize that life is so precious, right? Because you could be going in a day. Like, people was just dropping like thousands a day, just, and people's families were being ripped apart and things like that. So I think it definitely gave me another sense of like really just like appreciating your family, appreciating your parents, appreciating your friends, your kids, and so on and so forth, and just thanking God that if you didn't lose anybody, that you didn't lose anybody, because a lot of people did. And if you didn't lose someone specifically, it may have been a coworker that you knew, or it may have been an aunt or uncle that you're not familiar with. And so that's one of the things, how quarantine kind of gave me a different perspective on how to live, because one, I appreciate life more. I appreciate that I'm still here, and I appreciate that my family is still intact. So, hey Mary, how you doing, boo? What else? So y'all know I'm all about dating and relationships. Like, that's what I do. That's what I talk about. That's what I love. So in quarantine, I feel like I've seen a lot of different things happening. I've heard that a lot of people are getting divorced. I heard a lot of people are getting, that are breaking up. And that's one aspect. And then of course, a lot of people are getting together. They're being able to actually have the time to discuss things with other people. Like, so now, if you slide into somebody's DMs, like, it may not be, oh, let me come to your house today, but it may be like, okay, let me actually stay on the phone with you and kind of, talk to you, FaceTime you, and see if I really do like you. And then we talked about the people that are breaking up. And I feel like that's also important too, because I feel like quarantine may have given people the opportunity to know that, I can't stand this person. I'm just tolerating this person. I'm just dealing with them because whatever, you know what I mean? So I feel like it actually it's a good thing. Like, I mean, quarantine overall was not the best thing for everyone, but it's just like, as far as self-awareness, as far as getting your life together, as far as really understanding what it is that you maybe want for yourself, I feel like it gave you the time to think. Sometimes we're like on a New York minute. We're always out. We're always moving. We're always shaking. We don't stop. And I feel like that's one thing. I'm that kind of person. And so being home for all these months actually gave me the opportunity to really realize, like, what is it that I want? What is it that I want to do with myself? What is it that is important to me? What is it that I need to get together? And obviously I haven't done it all in quarantine, but it's just like you actually have that time now to think and relax and kind of figure out, okay, I need to go in this direction, I need to go in that direction. And like I said, the people who are breaking up and whatnot, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing, because now you know that, okay, I realize that you're not somebody I want to be with. Maybe sometimes you guys have opposing work schedules and you guys are in, I don't know, like maybe your husband works in the days and you work at night or whatever it may be. And so you never actually got the opportunity to kind of spend time with them. But I feel like if you're in a relationship, like, you should want to spend time with the person, right? And so if it took quarantine to kind of make you realize that, hey, I made the wrong decision, this is the wrong person for me, or I'm in the wrong relationship, that's good, because now you're not going to waste any more time. You know what I mean? And like I said, also with the people, like, who actually had the opportunity to get to meet people during quarantine, whether it was online or rekindle old relationships and things. It's like now you actually have the opportunity to know, okay, you know what? We're not going to be able to go on a date necessarily. We're not going to be able to, hi Belinda, hey boo. We're not going to be able to necessarily go on a date, but now, like, you actually have the opportunity to get to know people for who they are, right? You get to be on the phone like it was back in the day. I know that for some of the millennials, or is that what they call them? Do they call them millennials? I don't know. But they text all the time, but I feel like, or they don't even text. I don't know what they do. I don't know how they date nowadays. But back in the day when we used to date, like, you'll be on the phone with people all night. And so I feel like with quarantine, it gives you the opportunity to actually get to know a person and decide, hey, I like them, or no, I don't like them. Like, you don't really have to rush things. So that was something else that I learned in quarantine. Let me see what else. And as far as my healthy routine, so like, obviously for me, I'm not somebody who enjoys to work out at all. Like, I don't enjoy working out. I like the workout that you don't know what you're doing. So basically, like, when you have to walk everywhere. So I live in New Jersey, I work in New York, and so that's a lot of walking. So that's the kind of workout that I like, because I feel like it's not taking me off of my schedule, and I can live my best life. But because, like I said, we're in quarantine, now I have to make an active decision that, hey, okay, so I know that I'm not trying to get sick. I'm not trying to eat all day and sleep all day. Kind of thing. And so I had to put myself on like just kind of like to monitor myself more. So I guess that taught me discipline, as far as, quarantine has helped me kind of figure out what it is that I'm doing, and so I could do it in a way that is actually effective for me. So I can't just order pizza every night and, eat it, because I know that if I'm home and I'm not exercising, I'm going to be in trouble. So that's one of the things that I learned in quarantine. And like I said, it definitely also helped me with my planning. It's helped me with my planning routine as far as where I see myself, what I want to do, where I want to go in life. Because usually the issue is that we don't have time, right? And now we have all the time in the world. And so it's more or less about how we decide to use it, how we decide to make use of our time. And so I think that's definitely something that I learned during quarantine, just how to use my time more wisely, because I don't have the excuse I'm tired, even though I am tired, but I don't have that excuse where I can't do anything. And so I know for me, like I said, my initial goal is to come out of quarantine better than I came in every aspect of my life. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been trying to figure out little things. It doesn't matter if I write down today that, hey, you know, make sure your goal for today is to do this, make sure you get this done, and so on and so forth. So, and I'm just talking to y'all about what I have learned during quarantine, what things I've changed about myself during quarantine, and so on and so forth. And I also I feel like my character has improved for the better. I feel like I've definitely been like in a, not a, like a school setting, but I feel like I've been in a place where even though I'm home, I'm learning so much, right? I'm learning, because I told you I was taking a class, I'm learning. I feel like as far as God goes, I'm learning more, because now, like, with church and everything, we have so many different events and things at home, like on camera, but it's just like I'm getting filled with so much information. When I watch other people's lives, if they're talking about something that actually means something, I'm learning from that. And so I feel like definitely, like, quarantine took me back to school. I graduated from college, like, a long time ago, like 11 years ago. Oh my goodness. I graduated from college 11 years ago. And so I feel like that's one of the things that quarantine has given me the opportunity to kind of like shift my mind and shift my life a little bit as my decision. Like, it's something I wanted to do, but it's just like, it really helped me get my mind right. It really helped me change my thought process. It really helped me get disciplined. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much, all that I just kind of went over everything that I had learned during quarantine, everything that I'm working on during quarantine, and so on and so forth. Let me think, what else? And yeah, so if you don't know, I have a dating and relationship podcast, and it's called Tried and Tested Podcast. So TRIED and Tested Podcast, and it's a dating and relationship show where I talk about everything with my guests as far as what we go through when we're dating, what has happened to us in the past, what we've learned what we've learned from, how it can help other people, questions that we have in general, because, you know, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you're in between, there's things that we can all learn about ourselves and learn about, you know, life and stuff. So that's it. And I think that's all I have for y'all today. It was just very simple. I'll be back, but I was supposed to be doing lives like the whole entire quarantine, and I haven't been. So I was just like, well, let me just get on here and say what's up to the people. Hey, everyone. So thank you for tuning in, and have an awesome Sunday.